everybody to the Midwest Regional ceremony to celebrate the Congressional Gold Medal for Chinese veterans in World War II. So first, I want to welcome the CACA Chicago Lodge President, Ivy Lynn.
Good morning or good afternoon. Good morning. Well, today I've been at the email with our family, and finally we saw each other here. And I'd like to say thank you for coming on behalf of Chinese American Citizen Alliances. Well, as the president of Chicago Lounge, this is my honor to welcome all of you to today's celebration. We are gathered here today out of the pride and humble respect for the Congress's matters we are celebrating. More than 80 years ago, nearly 20,000 brave Chinese Americans answered the call to protect our country, our nation after the surprise. And they're so honorably, and they did that despite facing discrimination, and because they felt a duty to protect our nation. And because we need them, and started 2018, Congress finally passed the Chinese American World War II Veterans Congressional Gold Medal Act. That's why we are here. Before we officially begin, I would like to thank the members of House and Senate who worked so hard to make this act pass and make this happen to the overdue family, who fought for years to bring Congress' highest honor to these true American heroes. CACA National, with 20 of our lounge, been working so hard with other association, community, try to get this thing done. And I've been experienced to the House and walk over, I guess, over 30 congressmen's office and try to knock the door to ask them to endorse the bill because we deserve it. And finally, I want to thank all of you, some of them from Michigan, some of them from Minnesota. And this is our honor in Chicago to hold the ceremony here. And even though there's some family couldn't make it, but they will get the medal. So, ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And if you're able to, for the national anthems and our color guards.
Color guard, attention. Carry, arm. Ready, forward, march. March there, march. Left turn, march. Color, hope. Present, arm.
video. Please be seated.
Thank you, Training Support Center Great Lakes Color Guard. Thank you, Ms. Ivy, who has been working 20 hours per day to get this event ready. Next, we'll invite Ms. Melanie Chen, National President, CACA, to give us greetings.
Good morning or good afternoon. As the National President of the Chinese American Citizens Alliance, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome all of you to Chicago for the Congressional Gold Medal ceremony, honoring the Chinese American veterans who served during World War II. The Chinese American Citizens Alliance, or the Alliance, was founded in 1895 by a group of young Chinese American men who were dedicated to the fundamentals of equal rights and privileges for Chinese Americans. Throughout the history of the Alliance, support of our veterans has always taken a place of greatest importance, and it was a matter of pride that the Chinese American patriotism, love of country, and the willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good, regardless of the discrimination and the racism that they face in their everyday lives. In fact, our purpose and objectives of the organization states that we will practice and defend American citizenship and American patriotism. We have been involved in many projects in the past involving the veterans. And so this history of supporting our veterans and recognition made it almost unnatural that we as an organization decided to form the Chinese American World War II Recognition Project. The mission of the project is to recognize, honor, and celebrate the military service of the Chinese Americans who served in World War II through advocacy, recognition, and education and preservation of their legacy. We sought to tell their stories and to successfully advocate for the Congressional Gold Medal to recognize the World War II veterans. This effort resulted in the bipartisan passage of the Chinese American World War II Veteran Congressional Gold Medal Act, which was signed into law December 20th, 2018. And on December 9th, 2020, more than 75 years after the end of World War II, Congress awarded the Congressional Gold Medal to the Chinese American veterans in recognition of their service. We are now privileged to have the opportunity and honor and to pay tribute to those who served during World War II with the Chinese American Congressional Gold Medal replicas to our living veterans and their next of kin. Congratulations to all the veterans and their families, and I thank you personally for being part of this historic moment and to recognize the sacrifices and bravery of all our veterans who served in World War II with valor and honor. Thank you.
Next, we're going to show some video greetings, which will help us to understand not only the significance of the Congressional Gold Medal, also will help us to understand how many people behind the scenes to work extremely hard to make this award a reality. Thank you. Please enjoy the video greetings.
Hi everyone. First of all, I want to congratulate the veterans and their families who are receiving today's Congressional Gold Medals in Chicago. Throughout World War II, thousands and thousands of Chinese Americans stepped up in the most dangerous of conditions. Some were born on America's shores, others may not have even been granted citizenship yet. But time and again, these heroes heeded the call of their nation when it needed them the most, willing to sacrifice overseas for the same country that all too often still discriminated against them at home. Because they believed that fighting for the United States was worth the sacrifice. We'll never be able to repay these brave Americans for what they have done, but it is on us to try to do our best to support them. We will, I'm just so incredibly thankful that at long last we can begin to honor them. At long last we can say thank you properly. But as we honor how far we've come, we must also recognize the work that is still left to be done to ensure that every Chinese American, every person regardless of race, can begin to pursue happiness that is promised them in our Constitution. Because we'll only ever reach the more perfect union our founders dreamed of when we embrace the power of our diversity. With these congressional gold medals, we've moved one step closer to that more just, more equal time. So thank you, every one of you who have served, and once again, congratulations.
Regional ceremony to honor the Chinese American veterans of World War II. On behalf of Chinese American Citizens Alliance, the host of today's Congressional Gold Medal ceremony, it's a pleasure and honor to be with you, our veterans and family and friends of our veterans. I'm Ed Gore, past National President of Chinese American Citizens Alliance, or CACA, and National Director of the Chinese American World War II Veterans Recognition Project. But today is your special day where we come to present to you the nation's highest civilian award, the Congressional Gold Medal. While this is a day to celebrate the award you're about to receive, it's also a day of solemn remembrance for the more than 90% of your sisters and brothers who have already passed, who are also medal honorees. You know and I know they would have loved to have received it with you and their families. Well, to truly appreciate who and why we're here today, I feel it's important for each of us, who are descendants of a Chinese American World War II veteran, to know how this effort came about. So let me just take a couple of minutes here to speak about that and how this project began, how challenging it was to get this bill through Congress and eventually signed into law by President Trump in 2018. During the time I assumed the national presidency and responsibilities thereof, I thought we needed to do something to have more membership benefits. I also remembered when I was younger, and I had something called hair. It was many of the older members who served in the World War II who provide examples and stories of their loyal CACA involvement in this community. So encouraged by the efforts of those who led the NISA and Filipino Congressional Gold Medal efforts, we initiated with the leadership and members of CACA in 2017 with the introduction of Senate Bill S-1050 and House Bill H.R. 2358. We were faced with severe challenges of reaching 2/3 of the 435 House representatives and 2/3 of the 100 senators to co-sponsor the bill. Well, after year one, we were about halfway through and getting 67 senators needed, but less than 20% of the 290 House members needed. Well, year two, we received a significant infusion of help from two key members of our retired military, Major General Bill Chin and Major General Robert Lee. They and a determined group of blitzed into both houses of Congress to reach the 69 senators and 303 House members to pass the bill. Both houses passed with unanimous consent, and Public Law 115-337 was signed into law by President Trump in 2018. All of this happened miraculously in one session of Congress. I heartily thank both General Chin and General Lee for their contributions to the effort in holding CACA to the fire to finish this mission. So one of the primary reasons we have retired military members presented to you is because they, as Chinese Americans, represent the highest ranking individuals for which many of you, as veterans, laid the groundwork for their opportunity to advance today. But the challenge remains this: your stories must continue to be told and shared with your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, so that they'll know what Papa and Mama, Gogo and Popo did during World War II to serve the country of their choosing. We know that the majority of our veterans and families are from southern China, Guangdong, Hoisan. This is about your story coming to the United States to have a better life for your families. You served proudly, side by side, with other Americans during a dark period of world history. One of the things I've learned the most from the veterans and sons and daughters who have applied to receive the Congressional Gold Medal is how much pride and joy they see in their communities, knowing that the Congress of the United States has voted to give them this award to their families. Share that pride and joy by telling the stories of service and sacrifice. Thank you for your service, your dedication to duty, your commitment to the cause, and the examples you've given to all of us. May God continue to bless you and bless our country. Congratulations on this day.
I'd like to highlight the significance of the service and the sacrifices of our Chinese American World War II veterans as part of the story arc of Chinese American World War II veterans. The primary basis for the award of the Congressional Gold Medal to the Chinese American World War II veterans was their service in spite of the discriminatory aspects of the 1882 Chinese Exclusion Act, not repealed until December of 1943. Of the 20,000 Chinese American veterans who served, approximately 40% were non-U.S. citizens. They were denied citizenship, had no rights, couldn't vote, no homesteading. Yet they proudly served as Americans. We must forever remember, honor, and preserve the legacy of our Chinese American World War II veterans. They defended the freedom that we so much enjoy today. They demonstrated their skills, competencies, loyalty, and patriotism. They served with pride and proudly served as Americans. They opened up opportunities for all Chinese Americans to be a part of mainstream America post-World War II. Through their hard work and sacrifice, they enable our follow-on generations to live the American dream. And they continue the legacy of progress of Chinese in America as initially established by Chinese railroad workers. There is much in common between Chinese railroad workers and Chinese American World War II veterans. Both groups were forgotten, ignored, and excluded. Yet both groups are unsung heroes. Finally, on May 10, 2019, at the 150th anniversary of the Transcontinental Railroad, Chinese railroad workers were fully honored and recognized. And this completed the story arc of Chinese railroad workers. Finally, on December 9, 2020, some 75 years after the end of World War II, at the Speaker of the House ceremony for the award of the Congressional Gold Medal, Chinese American World War II veterans were honored and recognized. And this completed the story arc of Chinese American World War II veterans. In my case, I am a descendant of a Chinese railroad worker who worked the second Transcontinental Railroad, the Southern Pacific Railroad from California to El Paso, Texas. I am also a descendant of a Chinese American World War II veteran who was a pilot in the China Air Task Force and 14th Air Force in the China-Burma India theater. I'm honored to pay tribute to our Chinese American World War II veterans. Our current and future generations owe a huge debt to our Chinese American World War II veterans. Let us remember, honor, and preserve their legacy.
My name is Stephen Tong. I'm a retired Army Major General. You've heard previously from some of my colleagues about the Congressional Gold Medal for Chinese American veterans of World War II, and how it is a most prestigious medal, and how hard it was to get it passed through Congress. But what I want to spend a few minutes with you now is to talk about the medal itself. Well, here it is. The Congressional Gold Medal for Chinese American veterans of World War II. It is 3 inches in diameter, 1/4 of an inch thick, and it weighs 6 ounces. To give you an idea of its size and weight, let's compare it to another coin that you may be familiar with, the Eisenhower Silver Dollar. The Congressional Gold Medal for Chinese American veterans of World War II is twice the diameter of the silver dollar, and it weighs 6 times the weight of that silver dollar. So, be careful when you handle it. It's a heavy and big medal, and don't let it fall on your foot. Now, the Congressional Gold Medal is not a cookie cutter medal. The Congressional Gold Medal for Chinese American veterans of World War II is not the same as the one that was designed to honor George Washington, or the Tuskegee Airmen, or even Dwight Eisenhower. Each of these medals are unique. They are different, and they are custom designed. I was privileged to be selected as part of the design committee for this Congressional Gold Medal for Chinese American veterans. And in 2019, we spent 7 months with various artists and sculptors designing this medal. And I want to tell you what we came up with. On the front of the medal are 7 Chinese American figures, 6 men and 1 woman. They are all in World War II service uniforms. And the woman is in the Army Nurse Corps uniform. What we were trying to depict with these uniforms is that Chinese American veterans of World War II served in every branch of the service. The Army Air Forces, the Marines, the Navy, the Coast Guard, and Merchant Marine. On the reverse of the coin, we wanted to show that Chinese American veterans of World War II were deployed worldwide in the Pacific, in Asia, and in Europe, and in North Africa. And we wanted to show that they fought and served everywhere, on land, on sea, and in the air. So to depict that they served on land, sea, and air, we decided to select certain military equipment that they used and place it on the reverse side of the medal. For land, we selected the Sherman tank. The Sherman tank was introduced in World War II, and it was used extensively in the Pacific, in Asia, and in Europe and North Africa. For air, we selected the P-40 Warhawk airplane. This is a fighter aircraft that was used by the famous Flying Tigers of the 14th Air Force, flying out of Kunming, China, against the Japanese. And this P-40 for the Flying Tigers had one of the most iconic emblems of World War II. I'm talking about the famous shark's mouth and the shark's teeth that were on the nose of the P-40 aircraft. So give a look at it when you get the medal. In addition, you might have some questions about the medal itself. It's called the Congressional Gold Medal, but is it made out of gold? Well, the answer is yes and no. There is one, count it, one medal that is cast in gold, and it is minted for the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. It is entrusted up to them so that they can prepare a display for it to be displayed to the public in the future. So in the future, you can go to Washington, D.C. and see the gold Congressional Gold Medal, probably in the American History Museum. But for everyone else that is going to get this medal, and all the veterans that will be getting it, your medal will be made out of bronze. So what else can I tell you about the medal? Well, some might ask, where is it made? Is it made in the Kim's Engraving Shop in Seoul, Korea, or Chang's Coin Shop in Shanghai, China? No, it is not. The Congressional Gold Medal for Chinese American veterans of World War II is made right here in the USA. It is made by the United States Mint, the same people that bring you your quarters, your dimes, and your nickels. So in closing, let me say, I hope the past few minutes have given you a better understanding of the Congressional Gold Medal for Chinese American veterans of World War II, and I hope a better appreciation for it. Congratulations to the Chinese American veterans of World War II.
Hi, this is Alderman Byron Ciccio Lopez. My apologies for not being there with you today, but I wanted to send a greeting and my recognition on behalf of the 25th World Residents for all the Chinese American veterans who have fought on World War II for their service and sacrifice for all of us. I wanted to extend a greeting and a recognition for the Congressional Medal of Honor for those who are recognized today for their service to our community. I also would like to make a commitment from the 25th Ward Office to make sure that we work hand in hand with our veterans to ensure that they have proper access to mental health care, to make sure that they have access to benefits and dignified care for all our veterans who have sacrificed so much for us. Thank you for your service. I am so sorry I'm not able to be there with you today to celebrate and recognize your service. Thank you so much for your service to our community, and I look forward to working with you to ensure that all veterans, especially the veterans who have sacrificed so much for our community, have dignified health care, mental health care, and the benefits they deserve. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor and a pleasure and a privilege to be here to celebrate with you all today. We are in the 2nd State House District in Illinois, and it is the home of the largest concentration of Chinese Americans in a State House district in the Illinois General Assembly, and I've been proud to serve that community for the last 5 years. I really want to congratulate the families and the veterans who are receiving the Congressional Gold Medal. It is a long, sought after and well-deserved honor. The recognition is, it's so deeply deserved, and we really want to honor all the veterans from World War II for their bravery and their honor and their valor. It's important to recognize the contributions of Chinese Americans in our history, and the democracy that these veterans fought for is really what makes this possible. And I want to acknowledge the Chinese American Citizens Alliance for all their advocacy in making this possible, and going to Washington and talking to all the members of Congress to encourage them to support this effort, because it is something that our veterans truly deserve. And I'm so happy to be able to be here today and to have this ceremony in my Illinois State House District, and to really congratulate the families for the legacy, for holding on to the legacy of your predecessors who fought so bravely for all of us. So thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here, and congratulations to the families and to the veterans for this wonderful recognition. Thank you.
Many people have worked extremely hard to get Chinese American veterans of World War II honored and recognized. And Major General Bob Lee is one of them. And we're so fortunate to have him here with us. And let's rise to welcome him on the stage and give us a speech.
Please be seated. And aloha, since I am from Honolulu. Pleasure to be here, and thank you for such a warm welcome and one of the nicest days I remember being in Chicago. Shared with you. I also have a videotape speech, but I asked Ivy not to play it, although it was the shortest one among all the speakers. But I have two parts to this message because Senator Tammy Duckworth is your senator from Illinois, and I need to tell you of her background and that I knew Tammy Duckworth before she was famous. I knew at that time Captain Tammy Duckworth, Iraq, 2004, with the Illinois Aviation Unit, flying along with the Aviation Unit from Hawaii. And when I went into Iraq, I saw a picture of Tammy on the bulletin board of our company headquarters, and I asked the commander, what's with Tammy? She's not with our unit. And that's when we recently found out that she had terrific injuries in her helicopter crash after being shot at, and to please look after their sister whenever I visited the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. So that's what I did. On all my trips to the Pentagon, I swung by Walter Reed to see how Tammy Duckworth was doing. And I'll tell you, she's a fighter. She was determined to recover from her injuries, and so there's no question why she rose to be a representative and now your senator. So being on this committee to get the Congressional Gold Medal signed, I was elated to find out that Senator Tammy Duckworth was one of the leading co-sponsors. And led by Tammy, the Senate passed their version in September. But I wanted to share that we had a difficult time in the House of Representatives. This was October. We were 40 votes short, and I cringed at the thought of getting all the signatures again with the expiration of the 115th Congress. So although she was a senator, she had served as a representative from the state of Illinois. So Ed Gore and I secretly met with Senator Duckworth, and I asked her, I have a list. We need 40 more co-signatures. I have a list of 50 representatives that had signed the NICE and the Filipino Congressional Gold Medal bill. If you can get 40 out of the 50 to sign, we'll get it passed. Senator Duckworth said, give me the list. And she started calling her friends in the House while we were in her office. So in about a month, the House passed the bill. So I wanted all of you to know that it was Senator Tammy Duckworth that kicked this bill across the finish line. Of the video that I'm honored to present in person is really the significance of this Congressional Gold Medal. And I want to say that through the generosity of CACA, not only did they undertake the project to get the bill passed, but they fundraised so that everyone that registered, living veterans and next of kin, could have a replica of the Congressional Gold Medal. This is worth from the men about $200 each today. But really for the 20,000 that served, and many of them couldn't be reached, they historically have a part of the Congressional Gold Medal. And on September 30th in Washington, D.C., we actually had the gold medal on display. And you can find out, see it on the CACA website. The gold medal that will be in the Smithsonian is pretty much looking like the replica that you received today. So the Mint did a great job in polishing up the replica, so it looks like it. But the significance is, when you get a chance, see the real gold medal in the Smithsonian when it gets put on display. Because the significance there is that the Chinese American veterans of World War II, their medal would be next to all others, like George Washington, General Eisenhower, General MacArthur. So I tell the Chinese American veterans, happy to have veteran Moy with us today for World War II, that through your actions and patriotism, you now stand equal to the founders of our country. You have contributed to the history of America and the freedoms that we enjoy today. So stand tall, you're equal among all the other previous recipients of the Congressional Gold Medal. And it's my honor today to present these Congressional Gold Medals to the living veteran and family members from the Chicago and the Midwest. Aloha.
Next, let's welcome Congressman Dennis Davis, 7th Congressional District of Illinois.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. General Lee, State Representative Teresa Ma, to the Alderman Lopez, to all of those who have come, and especially to all of the veterans of World War II. I am, first of all, just delighted to be here, to be a part of this celebration. And I must admit that I am so pleased to see my dear friend Herman Long, who is seated in the back. Whether Herman was a veteran or not, he's a veteran of all the things that I've known about this particular community. But let me tell you, World War II was such a turning point in the history of our world. I've always had a great deal of affinity for veterans because 3 of my uncles served in World War II. My grandmother lived with my family because my father had children and he couldn't go. But I was my grandmother's favorite. And my uncles would always send their allotment checks to her. And every time she got them, she would go to the store and buy chocolate candy. And given the fact that I was her favorite, she always shared it with me. But I've always been engaged in history. And I've always read a great deal about the exploits of those who have served, protected, and promoted our democracy. World War II, as I indicated, was indeed a turning point. And for those men and women who gave of themselves in such a way that they protected democracy to the hilt. Obviously, many of them lost their lives. I've been fortunate to travel to Europe and to see some of the devastation that still remains. And so I just simply come to honor, along with all of you. General Lee, it was so pleasing for me to hear you, and also to know the tremendous role that Senator Tammy Duckworth has played in our country and the protection that she provides for veterans. So to all of the families, all of the men and women who served, to my dear friend Ivy Lamb, let me just thank you for taking the time to honor those men and women who've given so much to all of us. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to the presentation of the medals.
Next, we'll invite Phil Chen, Commander of American Legion Post 1003 Chinatown, to give us greetings.
I represent the Chinatown American Legion Post 1003, Chicago. I want to thank you for attending today and remembering the Chinese and Asian veterans that have served the military for this great nation. Today, these vets are being honored for their service with a Congressional Gold Medal, which they diligently deserved. And it's really nice that you remember those that took time out of their lives, sacrificed to protect what we have today. No foreign countries have come over here. We've got the Pacific, the Atlantic, Canada, Mexico. Someone's got to defend our borders, and that's the vets. And I want to thank all of you for coming and remembering that. Again, thanks.
We're going to watch a short clip that was made in collaboration between CSA National Lodge as well as Montgomery Home, an Emmy-nominated director, producer of various historical films. Please join me.
With honoring living veteran Mr. George T.N. Moy.
Congressman Davis, could you do the honors of being here? Because this award is from the Congress of the United States. Congressman Davis, sign on for this then.
Yes, indeed.
Waited a long time. Thank you. Before we commence with the rest of the medals, I would like to ask Amy Fong Kretzner to come forward. Okay, this is not a Congressional Gold Medal Award, but I wanted the audience to know that when General Chen and I review your submittals for the Congressional Gold Medal, in a one-page document, we pretty much know what your loved one did during World War II. And you know, back then in World War II, Chinese Americans, and in fact, most Asian Americans were not nominated for combat service in the field. But we were able to glean from the records that they met all the requirements for a combat award. And so I was able to petition the Army for a retroactive Bronze Star Medal for combat service, the fourth highest combat award in our nation. So Amy's dad, since we have military members in the audience, attention to orders. The United States of America awards the Bronze Star Medal to Private First Class WWII Fong Anti-Tank Company, 137th Infantry Regiment, for meritorious achievement in active ground combat against the enemy effective 1 January 1945, while serving with the 35th Infantry Division in the European Theater of Operations. Private First Class Fong's exemplary performance of duty in active ground combat was in keeping with the finest traditions of military service and reflects great credit upon himself, his unit, and the Army of the United States, signed Brian D. McCarthy, Secretary of the Army. And in addition, the 137th Infantry Regiment of the 35th Infantry Division at the time that Private Fong received his award in January 1945 while serving as an anti-tank company. The unit's purpose is to destroy enemy German tanks. The German counterattack was in force, known today as the Battle of the Bulge. So Private Fong and his fellow soldiers stopped the German counterattack, and with that, the fall of the German army within 4 to 5 months. So Amy, please accept this award on behalf of a grateful nation.
Today, so we will present the medals to the next.
Well, Robert Chan. Leo Su. Leo Su. Jim Yui J. Carl W. Wong, U.S. Army.
Patricia is from 103rd Infantry Division World War II Association. Now we'll invite Ed Jung, Chinese American Museum of Chicago, to the stage to receive the donation of the medal. Thank you, Pat, for tirelessly sharing his story of selflessness and sacrifice.
Jun Kui Chen, U.S. Army. Dan Yun Chin, U.S. Army.
Wok H. Chin, U.S. Army. Lawrence Chow, U.S. Army. Foon Kyu Chu, U.S. Army Air Force. Frank Chung, U.S. Army. Sito Yun, U.S. Army Air Force. Edward Lim, U.S. Army. Donald Poon Lim, U.S. Army. Frank Liu Locke, U.S. Army.
Representatives from table 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, please line up.
George F. Liu, U.S. Army. Hong Sher Singh, U.S. Army. Alan Joel, U.S. Army. Frank E. Vaughn, U.S. Army. That's it, United States Navy. First Navy General. Q. Hong, U.S. Army. Jack Gui Wong, U.S. Army. We have a twofer here. Next picture, Thomas Wong, U.S. Army Air Forces. Wat Dane Hui, U.S. Army.
Representatives from table 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, please line up.
Si Lung Chan, U.S. Army. Dong Yuk Fong, Congressional Gold Medal and Bronze Star recipient. Heng Heng Liu, United States Navy. Heath Moy Hall, U.S. Army Air Forces. She's the official. Yeah. You want to make sure you're okay? Okay, thank you. Wing Lee, U.S. Army Air Forces. Okay, great.
Representatives from table 1, 2,
Thank you
3,
so
4,
much.
5,
Congratulations.
please line up.
Gerald M. Lee, U.S. Army Army Air Corps. William F. Lee, U.S. Army Air Corps. Pat Wong, United States Navy. Calvin Young Boy, United States Army. Wah Moy, United States Army. Thank you. Frank Lin Wu, United States Army. Henry Wayne Mook, United States Army. Thank you. Quoc Moy, United States Army. Nice picture. Quan Chun, United States Army. Yuk Lun Tao, United States Army. Fuk Wei Young, United States Army Air Forces. Yu Dong Yi, United States Army Air Forces. Chun Kui Chen, U.S. Army. Dan Yun Chin, U.S. Army. Wok H. Chin, U.S. Army. Lawrence Chow, U.S. Army. Foon Kyu Chu, U.S. Army Air Force. Frank Chung, U.S. Army. Sito Byun, U.S. Army Air Force. Edward Lim, U.S. Army. Donald Poon Lim, U.S. Army. Frank Liu Locke, U.S. Army.
Representatives from table 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, please line up.
George F. Liu, U.S. Army. Hong Sher Singh, U.S. Army. Alan Joel, U.S. Army. Frank E. Vaughn, U.S. Army. Okay, United States Navy. First Navy member. Gum Q. Hong, U.S. Army. Jack Gui Wong, U.S. Army. We have a twofer here. Next picture, Thomas Wong, U.S. Army Air Forces. Damon Hui, U.S. Army.
Representatives from table 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, please line up.
C. Long Chan, U.S. Army. Dong Yuk Fong, Congressional Gold Medal and Bronze Star recipient. Heng Heng Liu, United States Navy. Heath Moy Hall, U.S. Army Air Forces. She's the official. Yeah. You want to make sure you're okay? Okay, thank you. Wing Lee, U.S. Army Air Forces.
representatives from table 1, 2,
Thank you
3,
so
4,
much.
5,
Congratulations.
please line up.
Harold M. Lee, U.S. Army Air Corps. William F. Lee, U.S. Army Air Corps. Max Wong, United States Navy. Calvin Dung Boy, United States Army. Wah Moy, United States Army. Thank you. Frank Lin Wu, United States Army. Henry Wayne Mook, United States Army. Thank you. Quoc Moy, United States Army. Nice picture. Thank you. Quan Chun, United States Army. Yuk Lun Tao, United States Army. Book Wei Young, United States Army Air Forces.
Gary, bye bye.
Yu Dong Yi, United States Army Air Forces. Ong Dam Moy, U.S. Army Air Forces. Victor S. Moy, United States Army.
Representatives from rest of the tables, please line up.
An Kai Wa, United States Merchant Marine. Paul Luke, United States Army. Lai Luen Lee, United States Army Air Force. Wing Fu Moy, United States Army. Thank you. Donald Boy, U.S. Army Air Force. William Yip, United States Army. Okay, we have first Yi Boy, United States Army, and Thieu Boy, Army Air Force. Sing Wu, United States Army. Sam Chan Sit, United States Army Air Forces. WWII, United States Army.
Yeah, you guys push too fast. Sorry. I video you guys.
Jin H. Wong, United States Army.
Well, this is a very special moment, and I would like to welcome my resident scientists to introduce our special men who did a lot for CEC when we chartered 2010. Well, CEC started like 100 years ago, Chicago. So in 2010, we rechartered because of Mr. Herman Wong, and we're back here again. So it is over 11 years. And I would like to introduce Mr. Herman Wong and his wife, Betty Wong. And they both devoted a lot to Chicago CG. And so as well as he served the Vietnam War.
Current president.
So the award of excellence goes to Mr. Thomas Lee. Unfortunately, he lost his battle against cancer last year. We really miss him. So now we would like to invite Su Lang-Moy, past president of Chinese American Museum, and Mr. Ben Lau, executive director of the Chinese American Museum, to the stage to accept the awards on behalf of him. And the plaque will also be donated to the museum.
There's not a lot to be said that hasn't already been said. It's truly an honor to be in this room with so many people, so many veterans and descendants of veterans, friends, family, congressmen. It's truly an honor. When you think about the sacrifices that the Chinese Americans and Chinese in America made, you know, in 1943, there were only 100,000 Chinese Americans and Chinese in America in all of the United States. And 20,000 of them enlisted in the U.S. Army for World War II. Today there's about 5.2 million Chinese Americans. That's the equivalent of about 1 million people signing up to join the military. So the sacrifice, the courage that it took, it's hard to overstate because it was just tremendous. So I want to thank everyone for showing up today and being a part of remembering this history and passing on the legacy. So thank you.